Hey everybody, today for my free lesson I'm going to do some, well, we'll probably draw out one tag, but I'm going to paint three so you can see how to paint the backgrounds. These are tags I did in the past, and I thought, we could do something like that. So first thing, I like to use these dabber tops. I was buying the Adirondack dabbers that came with the tops already, but they don't sell them anymore. But they do sell the replacement tops. So I've put them on my acrylic paint. You can use any flat, cheap paint. You want it to be matte, not glossy, or I'm going to be using colored pencils and they won't stick to the glossy. I've got here light pink rose in Craft Smart, saffron yellow in Americana. I like Americana the best, but I don't have a lot of it. Pink rose in Craft Smart, and this is Sea Mist from Folk Art. They're all matte. Now, before you put your little top on, take your top off, and I take my spray bottle. I better move this. You'll see my dirty table now. And I spray it water. If you want, you could just go to the faucet, but this is what I have at my table. So I'm spraying water in there so that it will thin it down and it'll come through the dabber top easier. The paints tend to get thicker if you don't use them, so. Anyway, so you're gonna put your dabber top on there. Let's see, kind of close there. All right, put your dabber top and then shake it up. Once you've got it shaken up, and when you go to use it, just pop that in. You'll feel a little pop when you push it. And even when you've used them already, if they're dry, push on it. You can get it wet, push on it. It'll break up the little particles that have dried up, and it should work. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and replace the tops for my other two, and we'll get started. Okay, so instead of the Sea Mist, I've changed it to Robin Eggs Blue. It's a little brighter. I think it will look a little better with my other bright colors. So I've shaken them all up and gotten them all ready. You're going to want to have a spray mister. You don't have to, but I use it every time I do this. So I'm going to go ahead and start. I'll start this one. I'm going to start with the light pink, and I'm just going to add some on there. We are going to be coloring over a lot of this, so it doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm just, making marks, making little patterns. It's just a little tiny thing, so it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to go ahead and spritz this. And by spritzing it, it makes some of the colors spread out a little bit. And sometimes it does some cool stuff, and it separates rather than bleeding into each other. It kind of separates out a little bit. I don't know if you can see in here. It kind of just sits on top, which is kind of cool. Okay, so I think that one's good. We'll do another one, and maybe I'll start with the blue. The harder you squeeze, the more paint comes out. If you want a lot, I'll do some yellow. This isn't quite the yellow I wanted, but it's what I have. I'm trying not to touch it too much. Let's see. And sometimes when you really wet it, you can hit it and it makes, you know, little splatter marks, which is kind of cool. I'm gonna add a little pink in there. Don't love that yellow, but spray a little more. If you got bubbles, you can blow on it. They usually pop. Okay, so that one's done. And the last one. And these do get a little muddy. You can wipe them out on your paper. Oh, you can't just leave that there. I'll add some of the lighter pink in there. I'm gonna spray it. I'm gonna spray it a little more. And I think that's good. So I'm going to set these aside and let them dry, and then we will draw on one of them and make a little tag. Okay, so they're all dry. I think first I'm going to take this one and I'm going to draw my girl on there. I'm just using a Graph Gear 500 0.7 mechanical pencil. I also have my Mono Zero eraser. It's got a little tiny eraser on there. Now when you're doing these, you can try to figure out where you're going to put everything in there. Like this one, maybe I'll have her hair up in here so you can see all the color, and then I'll block out the sides with white or something, or a wash of white. And maybe this one, her dress will have this pattern in it, and then her head could be up here. And this one, we'll do the stripes down here as part of her dress, and her hair can be up here. Alright, another thing is I'm going to be coloring with colored pencils, and when you color over blue areas, their face tends to look a little greener. I don't know if you can see that. I think you can see that. Compared to when it's on the orange or pink background. So you'll see there is a difference. Alright, I started a face and I didn't like it, so I've erased it, and I'm going to start again. I'm going to make my oval. That's the center of her face and where her eyes should go. And we can always erase all these little lines. Most of it won't show. Any lines you make probably won't show once you put your colored pencil on there. Alright, we'll add her eyes. I should zoom in a little more. Making her nose. Kind of make a triangle and come out on the sides. And this is just the underneath part of her nose where this shadow is under your nose. And then make her lips. Same thing, kind of a triangle, and then you come down. And then the under bottom lip. Okay, so we'll draw in the lines around her face to define it. And let's see. Trying to decide what I want to do here. We'll come down with her neck. I think we'll do sort of the, what do you call it? The dress form body. Come down. And give her. And we'll just bring her arm like that. And the same thing on this side. Alright, let's erase some of these lines we don't want. Oh, you didn't see any of that. Okay, so I don't know how much she missed, but I brought it down and came around here. Then I just pulled her arm down to about here where her arm will bend, and then had it come here and then come straight down. Her elbow's about right there. Same on this side, came down and to the side. So I'm erasing the excess stuff, all the lines I don't want. And we'll trim it around her face. All the lines we made. Try not to smear the pencil. For the top of her dress, I think I'm just gonna go like that. Okay. And then hair. Oof. Maybe. Kind of made her. Oh, she needs an ear. Made her a little bit over to the side. And then we can bring her hairline down so it's not She doesn't have such a huge forehead. Oh. Let's see. I think I need to trim some of that so it looks more like pigtails rather than the way I had it. I'll bring that down a little bit. Okay, so that one is done as far as drawing her. Oh, let's give her some eyelids. Just want to make sure they're even. I'll give her a little pupil. Okay. So next we're going to color that, and you could, you know, use any of the pieces you've made, but I'm just going to do this one. These are examples of what you could do. Let's see, did I have that one? You can see this one, I left the background how it was, and then left the circles from the background, and then just went around them with white and colored in between with blue. And then on this one, I'm going to do the same on here. I'm going to leave her dress and her hair the color of the background, and color in the background with a light wash of white, and we'll color her skin with colored pencils. Okay, so I'm going to get my pencils and we'll get started with that. Okay, so I've got some colors here. I've got sable, light umber, nectar, white, beige, peach beige, and I don't remember what color this is. So it's some kind of aqua color. It's number PC992. I'll have to look that one up. Looks like I need a new one. Okay, so first we're gonna take the peach beige and we're gonna color in her face. And I am putting a little pressure on it. I'm not pushing really hard. And I'm going around all the pencil lines. It will smear the pencil, so be careful with that. You can kind of go over the smear with your colored pencil some more, but it's not that big a deal. Okay, I'm going to do her neck. and her arms. These are Prismacolor pencils, in case I did not say that. Okay, so next I'm going to take the light umber, and I'm going to go around some edges. I hope you can see that. I go around the edges. I'm going to go back over that with my peach beige and blend it in. Make a little bit of a shadow next to her nose and under her eyes. And this I am not pushing hard. I'm just kind of letting it glide on top of the other color. I'm going to color in the shadow of her nose there. Maybe fill in a little bit under her nose. Shade under her chin and down her neck. And on the back sides of her arms. Oh, you can't see that. I don't know if you saw the neck. I shaded under here, here. Oh, and I always forget their ears. Okay, so I'm gonna fill her ears in. Maybe shade a little bit there. Okay, so I'm gonna go back over this with my peach beige and kind of blend it in. Again, I'm not pushing really hard, just enough to blend it. I am giving it some pressure, just not really hard. You can test on a separate piece of paper and see what you get with different pressure, how you like it. Maybe I need to go down that further there. Okay, so next I think I'll give her some cheeks. And this is the Nectar. And I'm pushing hard on the outside and then coming up lighter, pushing lighter as I get towards the center of her face. You just kind of lift it and let it get lighter, and then you can blend it a little bit with your peach beige again. And I'll do her lips. I think that looks fine. I think I'll take a little bit of yellow and warm up her face a little bit. And I'm just lightly adding this. Just letting it kind of slide on there. Just adding a little bit on her skin to warm it up. Okay, then I'm going to take my, gosh, I think it's light aqua. I cannot remember what this is. It was my favorite color. I can't remember. Okay, so I'm going to just add a little bit. Make sure you guys can see that. Just add a little bit side to the chin. Just little bits for highlighting. And I'm also going to color her eyes with this color. We will be going over all this with black pens, because right now it looks a little boring, but we'll go over that. So next I'm going to take my white colored pencil. Make sure your white is clean when you go to do this. I always have stuff on the end of it and then I smear it. Okay, so we're gonna make some highlights. I'm going up the nose and some on the forehead, and I push a little harder where I want it really white, and then I go lighter so it fades out into the rest of her skin. Maybe lighten there, lighten her chin, a little bit of light under her neck, and a little on the side of her arm, on the side of this arm. Maybe there. Okay, so next I think we'll add, actually we'll do the white paint. Well, I'm going to use some Liquitex gesso. Oh, you can't. Got to pay attention to what I'm doing. Liquitex, I like the professional gesso. I'm just going to squeeze a little bit. Squeeze a little bit on my paper here. I need to clean my bottle. It's not coming out very well. Okay. And I need to grab some water. Alright, so I've got a paintbrush. Doesn't really matter what size you use. This is a 4. I'm watering down the gesso a little bit. And then I'm gonna, oh, that's a little too much. Too much water. I'm gonna paint the background in. Alright, so we're going to add some more white details and some black details. I am going to get my smaller paintbrush. This is a 2. And I'm going to add some stuff to her eyes. And a little bit to her nose. A little to her forehead and her underneath here. Okay. Then I'm going to take a black micron pen. Let's see if this one works. Mine dry out where the little nib slips in, but it's my favorite ones. This is 03. It's the only one I think I have working at the moment. So I'm going to go around her eyes here. I fill in her pupil. Same on this side. And give her some eyebrows. A little bit. Okay, I'm gonna fix her nose a little bit. And this is so tiny sometimes it's hard to see. But let's see. I'll give her some lines in her mouth. If you mess up, you can fix things with the colored pencils. They are good erasers, actually. When you're messing up on colored pencil, you can, you know, erase it again. The colored pencil just removes it. I'll give her some little tiny eyelashes. I don't like that. So see, just gonna color that right out of there. Okay. Alright, so we'll zoom out some. I'm gonna go around. Let's see. I think I'll use the, this might be kind of heavy. I think I'll use my black Posca pen and do the hair. And I'm gonna try not to go heavy-handed with this. I don't want the lines huge. Turn that. And we'll do her dress. Okay, I'm going to take my micron pen again and go around her face. I don't want such huge lines on her skin. Okay. I'm going to make my lines a little darker. I don't want them quite as dark as what's around the hair and the dress, but a little darker so it all matches a little better. Her eyes, I think I made a little too small, maybe. I'm going to give a little more sort of eyeliner. Oh. And I need to fix that right there. There we go. Oh, and I think I'm going to give her some shading under her eyes. And then I will blend that out with this. And maybe darken up her cheeks a little bit. I think I'm gonna take my micron pen and go around the hair and make some extra hair strands. I'm going to take my white Posca pen. I'm going to give her a little highlight in her eye. Ooh, that's a big one. Actually, I kind of like that. And I'll let that dry. Then I'm going to give some polka dots in the background. Okay, I think I want to I think I'd use kind of a, I don't know, maybe I need to brighten her skin up a little bit. I'm going to brighten her cheeks up a little bit. And I'm just kind of going over all the color with the white, not really hard or anything, just to brighten it up a little bit. It looks a little dull on this background, I think, so. Yeah. I think that's better. Now I'm going to go back in and I think her eyes are dry. Fix the eyeballs a tiny bit. Alright, and then I'll add a little bit of highlight to her lip there. Try not to dab it out too much. Okay, so I think that's good. Let's zoom out. Yeah, so you could do, you know, any number of different things and have, you know, everyone will look different because your backgrounds will be different, and that makes it kind of cool. So I hope you guys like this, and if you have any questions, message me. Have a great day.